হ্যালো ফ্রেন্ডস, আজকে আবার আরেকটা নতুন গল্প নিয়ে হাজির হলাম। আজকের এই গল্পটি আমি রিড করব। আপনারা এই গল্প রিডিংটা শুনতে থাকুন। যদি ভালো লাগে তাহলে সাবস্ক্রাইব করবেন এবং লাইক বাটন প্রেস করবেন এবং বেল আইকন প্রেস করবেন। চলুন দেখা যাক আজকের গল্পে কি হয়। গল্পটির নাম হলো দ্য ইনভিজিবল ম্যান। The two boys stared in surprise at the fresh muddy imprints of bare feet. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London? And where was the man? As they stood wondering, a fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. Further footprints followed until they disappeared altogether. The explanation of the mystery was very simple. The boys had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to become invisible. Griffin. The scientist drank of new drug and his body had become as transparent as a sheet of glass. Griffin had escaped easily from the boys, but his misadventures were by no means over. It was midwinter and the air was very cold, so he decided to slip into a big London store for warmth. As soon as the shop closed for the night, he put on expensive warm clothes, shoes and hat. He became a fully dressed, visible person. He took a hearty meal and went to sleep, but he slept for too long. Next morning, the shop assistants gave him a chase. He was able to escape only by taking off all his clothes. He was naked and shivering with cold once again. This time he decided to try the stock of a theatrical company. He made his way unseen into a shop. He came out a little later wearing bandages round his forehead, dark glasses, false nose, bushy beard, and a large hat. He also pocketed all the shopkeeper's money. He took a train to the village Iping. He booked 2 rooms at the local inn. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, made every effort to be friendly with him, but Griffin had no desire to talk to her. He told her, "My reason for coming to Iping is to live in peace. Don't disturb me in my work." She let him alone, but the stolen money did not last long. He ran out of money. One early morning, the clergyman and his wife were awakened by the noise downstairs. They heard the chink of money being taken out from the desk. The priest flung open the door and shouted, "Surrender!" But there wasn't a sign of anybody. Yet the money was missing. Mrs. Hall and her husband were surprised to find the door of scientist's room wide open. They walked in. The scientist had been out for a long time. The most surprising thing was that his clothes and bandages were lying about the room. All of a sudden, the hat on the bedpost leaped up and hit against Mrs. Hall's face. The chair became alive and it pushed both Mr. and Mrs. Hall out of the room. Mrs. Hall almost ruled down the stairs. The neighbors thought that the trouble was caused by witchcraft. Others suspected the scientist's hand in the theft of clergyman's house. The village constable was secretly sent for. Griffin suddenly appeared in the empty room. Mrs. Hall demanded an explanation. He was furious. He threw off the bandages, glasses, and beard. He became a headless man. The constable, Mr. Jeffers, was surprised to find that he had to arrest a headless man. As he tried to get hold of Griffin, there followed a remarkable scene. The culprit became more and more invisible as he took off his garments one after another. The constable found himself struggling with somebody he could not see at all. Those who tried to help Jeffers received blows that seemed to come from nowhere. Jeffers fell unconscious and Griffin escaped easily. তো আজকের এই গল্পটা রিডিং কেমন লাগলো? যদি ভালো লাগে তাহলে সাবস্ক্রাইব করবেন এবং বেল আইকনে প্রেস করবেন এবং লাইক দেবেন। থ্যাঙ্কস ফর ওয়াচিং। বাই বাই।